Living with plants is a negotiation between their needs and our space. This lamp right here is how we win that negotiation. It shows three things, and those three things are the difference between keeping plants alive and actually living and thriving with them in peace. These three keys are often overlooked, but they are the deciding factors that turn your place from a greenhouse into a grounding sanctuary. The first one is how your space looks, the second what your plants actually need, and the third one is about how your evenings feel. And I promise that after the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do with your space to make it feel like home without ever looking like a lab again. When you love plants, it doesn't take long for them to start filling every corner of your house. At first, you probably had just a dedicated plant corner, but now what? You have a full plant house. And that is where the negotiation starts. You have plants everywhere, on the desk, on the shelves, even on the nightstand. But you're realizing that this spot might not be the best for their growth, so now you are stuck between choosing a plant that barely survives without any sun, or turning your home into a clinical nursery with blinding lights and weird tripods that ruin the vibe. The easiest tip you can make is swap a bulb in a light fixture you already have. Lamps like this 4.5 watt are the perfect example. All you need is a simple E27 fixture that can still turn on. Your space keeps its style, your plants get a full spectrum of light. That's the first key. Your space stays yours, no new setups, no new hardware, just a simple bulb swap your room never has to apologize for. Scrolling past a 4.5 watt grow light is one of the most common mistakes plant parents make. They've been told that only grow lights that break the bank and their electricity bill can work, and if something is less than 100 watts, they deem it useless. And yes, strong grow lights are great for high noon growth and demanding plants, but here is what most people miss. This lamp only draws 4.5 watts and performs closer to 30 watts. So the question isn't just power, it's how that power is used. And not every plant needs the kind of intensity. For example, a fern under a grow light of 100 watts, equivalent to thousands of watts, will blitz and fry. These kind of lights are built for plants like monstera or a fiddle fig that need that wide, powerful spread of light to get them fully covered. Not every plant needs this intensity. New plants, carnivorous, mosses, a terrarium, ferns will benefit massively from low-wattage lamps. A low-heat lamp like this can sit inches away from the leaves without burning them. The closer the light, the more your plant actually receives, so you don't need extreme wattage to get results. Stronger lights need distance, and that distance also costs you space. So instead of designing your room around the light, you start placing the light exactly where it belongs. The monstera gets its powerful spread, the fern gets its quiet corner lamp, and everything sits where it feels natural. Your space actually looks like it was designed that way. That's the second key. Match the intensity to your plants and not your ambition. Less space, less energy, better results. There is a gap in almost every plant setup between the grow lights and complete darkness. The problem is that most people never feel it. When we brought our plants indoors, we've all made a silent promise to give them an environment as close to their own as possible. And if you think about it, the sun doesn't have the same intensity throughout the day. Your plants don't need a high noon sun 16 hours a day. They need a transition to nighttime. That is where complementary lights enter the game. Your plants need the energy, but you also need the atmosphere. As the sun goes down, your lights should also adapt. That's why this lamp isn't just a great main grow light for sensitive plants, but also the perfect evening complementary light. That is the bridge you need between the full daylight setup and complete darkness. And that matters for more than just your plants. It means your space becomes somewhere you can actually be at night, winding down without being blasted by light that tells your brain it's still midday. Your plants get their extended light window. You get your atmosphere. And that's what coexistence actually looks like. And that's the third key, not a replacement, but the piece that makes the whole system feel complete. At the end of the day, plant care should be something that makes you feel good and in tune. And sometimes it really is that simple. A bulb swap, but the plants on your nightstand are no longer reaching. The ones on your shelves are actually growing, and your evenings look the way exactly as they are supposed to.